Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. How the heck are you? Good morning, afternoon, and evening to you. Welcome. I am so grateful, so appreciative that you chose to tune in. I want to know what brought you here. Did you hear about me from a friend, from a neighbor? Because everybody is supposed to be shouting it from the rooftops. That was the assignment. The assignment was tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a spouse, tell a coworker, shout it like the sound of music through a field, spinning and twirling. Ramblings of an insomniac, ramblings of an insomniac. Hear ye, hear ye. That part didn't really have anything to do with Sound of Music, but at any rate, what brought you here? How did you hear about me? I would love for you to clue me in, to let me know. And you can do that at ramblings of an insomniac 49 at Gmail. You can totally drop me a line. Drop me a line. I don't know why I said that. No one says that anymore, but you can email me. Let me know. And, I would love to hear your constructive criticism. Although if it is going to be about being more professional, having a studio and not hearing sounds of me currently moving around some stuff on a shelf. And if you don't want to hear that, and you don't want to hear my clock ticking, and you don't want to hear dogs barking and cars and all of that, I totally get it. I'm not your cup of tea. Totally understand why. I'm definitely not for everyone. If you want a, good quality, professional podcast, I am not it. If you want someone that does not digress, totally get sidetracked, talk about 100 different things, sometimes cries, I'm not your podcast. But if you like those things, then heck, like I said, it is called Ramblings of an Insomniac because I do tend to do just that. I ramble. And we talk politics and we talk family and relationships and work and, the whole thing. No one's off the table. I say this all the time. I'm an equal opportunity person. I make fun of everybody from all countries, all backgrounds. Doesn't matter what race, religion, political affiliation, country, gender, whatever. Y'all, if it's ticking me off or making me sad or making me happy or whatever, I let it be known. So again, if you like all of that, then hey, welcome. Welcome to everybody that's been listening and is new, and everybody, every dang one of you. Thank you. Okay. So on that note, what has been keeping me up? What is preventing me from counting sheep? Why aren't I counting cute little fuzzy lambs? Well, for one, my cat is, the youngest we know he is 21, but he could be up to 23. So he's between 21 and 23 years old. And he is, I think, starting to get some dementia, which totally breaks my heart. I don't like that for him. As we all know, the whole reason I started this podcast had to do with my mom having dementia during COVID, and the way that Oregon in particular handled COVID and its policies and regulations were just, it's a very touchy subject with me. It's why I started doing this podcast, because I have some massive PTSD from the whole COVID thing and how Biden and Harris handled it, how Fauci handled it. I have said this numerous times. I think that Fauci should be locked up in a lab, in a cage, and we should perform the same tests on him that he did those poor animals. I have a certain, I hope to God there's a certain place in hell for those that torment animals. It just, and dump animals, just abandon them. I just, oh my God, I can't. It makes me cry. I cannot. This is why I really, really am trying to do the whole dog rescue thing. I've been doing a lot of research on it using AI and coming up with a plan and steps and stuff. It's just a little difficult. You have to kind of start with one dog, basically, and fostering one dog, depending on if you already have money or not. If you don't, like me, it's a bit difficult to start. But hey, good things are difficult, right? Anything that's worthwhile takes some time, takes some energy, takes some chutzpah. You can't, it shouldn't just be handed. I mean, if it is handed to you, there's nothing wrong with that, of course. I mean, if something was handed to me, of course, I'm not going to scoff at it. I'm not going to be like, nah, I'd rather work really, really hard. I'd rather use an absorbent amount of time and energy instead of just like getting dogs and start saving dogs right now. Instead of having to wait to save dogs, if someone just handed me money for that, I mean, heck yeah. I would start a dog rescue right this very second, and I would rescue all the dogs. It would just be me frolicking around with a bunch of dogs. That just sounds like the most, throwing some horses and oh my God, hot damn. That would just be the most amazing thing on earth. Anyway, see, I digress. So, Dementia Cat, keeping me up. There we go. See, always get back on track. That's the other thing you got to know about me. I may digress, squirrel, shiny thing, all of it. But I do come back around. I circle the wagon, and then I'm right back on it. So maybe that's why labs drive me crazy, because labs are totally ADHD. They're like that frat boy that loves to have a good time, just is living life, just wanting to have a good time, absorbing life, and means well, but just leads a trail of frickin' destruction, a path of destruction, because they're like, whoa, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this, yeah. But at the same time, labs are a lot more loyal than, well, I can't say more loyal than frat boys, because that's rude, because I'm sure there are plenty of college men that are loyal. But when I say frat boys, I don't feel like people, the first thing they think of is loyal. Now, again, that doesn't mean people aren't. You just think of party and, all of that. But point being, labs are kind of like frat boys. They mean well. I feel like they're just living life and spastic and like, woo, ADHD and all that. Like me. So my cat, Dementia, I think, is getting dementia. And it makes me sad because many of my family members have unfortunately had dementia, and it scares the bejeebs out of me. I'm pretty sure that's going to be me, and I'd rather someone just shoot me, because dementia is awful and I would not wish it upon anybody. That's why I actually stuck up for Biden. Don't like the man, can't stand the man, but never ever wished for his assassination. Never asked people, to do him any harm. Never wished any harm upon him. Said all along that the reason he can't form sentences and stuff is that his wife and his administration is parading him around. Complete elder abuse. I've said it for years now. Elder abuse, elder abuse, elder abuse. Shame on Joe Biden. Shame on everybody involved that covered up all of that. Parading that poor man around when he should have been resting. He should have been resting. And they just used him. And that's awful. And they should be in jail. And then the cover up. Oh my God, the fact that Republicans were saying forever, hey, something ain't right. Something just isn't quite right. He seems a little off. How did that man go 4 years and just never, ever had a physical? So the president of the United States, the one that is in charge of the button, the red button, the one that's in charge of talking to foreign leaders, the one that's in charge of the entire country. You're telling me that man never, ever, ever had one single, not a drop of blood work done, didn't have any cognitive testing done, didn't have any type of lab work done in 4 years. And once they started noticing symptoms of him, because the whole world noticed it, apparently except lefties. Apparently lefties didn't notice it, and they were just like, oh, that's a normal person, because they're so crazy and they're so insane that apparently Biden looked just like one of them. They're like, what? He looks no different than the rest of us. He can't form sentences. He's not logical. He's wandering around going, oh, and uneducated, racist, all of that. Lefty right there. So I get it. I get why you confuse it. But how did he not have any, just nothing after the whole entire world noticed something was wrong, and people that were close to him, like his wife and his family and his administration? So we all noticed it, perfect strangers that didn't see him every second of every day. But the people that saw him every day and spoke to him every day, none of them thought anything was remotely up. And they flat out said that the type of cancer he has didn't just develop, just boom, in the last couple of months. It didn't just develop since January. So another cover-up. Anyway, oh my God, I digress again. Dementia, wouldn't wish it on anyone. See, got there again. You guys thought you were like, this time she's off. And she's off. There goes Courtney, wandering around in the Tulies again. Nope, I'm right back. Okay. Cat with dementia keeping me up because he has this thing. It's always 3:19 or 3:29 that he has decided now he has to eat, or just at the very least, just wake me up. And first he starts out by taking his one claw, it's like on a cartoon, just one claw, and poking me with it. And if that doesn't work, he adds a meow to it as he's poking me. Mah, mah, mah. And then if that doesn't work, he starts walking across my head over and over again while also meowing. And it's a really obnoxious because it's meh, meh. And I know I've told this story, but it's keeping me up still. It's still keeping me up. And it's always 3:19, 3:29. And the problem is it takes me a good hour and 15 minutes to go back to sleep. By the time I fall back asleep, I get a good half hour, 45 minutes, and boom, I have to get back up again. So I just end up feeling more tired. So I wrestle with, do I just stay up? I hate that. Don't you guys hate that? You know what I'm talking about, where everyone does, where you're like, do I go back to bed or do I just stay up? Because at this point, why? I hate that. It's so frustrating. Sorry, I got to close this door a little. It's getting chilly. It's getting chilly in here. So don't take off your clothes. Anyway, cold. And yeah, so my cat keeping me up. My back, again, this posture thing, I'm still doing it. Still trying to walk as if there's a string attached to my head, pulling it up to the ceiling with my, raising my shoulders up and rolling them back and chest out and the whole thing. And holy crap, I just did not realize I really was Quasimodo, you guys. I cannot even express to you the level of just horrendous posture I had. And I'm always hunched over at my job, and I'm always bending over weird and lifting things. And my back is just, and so walking upright, I'm so used to, compensating. And now I'm back to how I'm supposed to be. And my back is killing me, and I'm still stretching. And then what's also keeping me up is I am so dehydrated. I'm not drinking enough water, and I'm getting those fucking Charlie horses. You know what I'm talking about? Those ones in your toes? When they're in your toes, oh my God, a Charlie horse in your toe just really, or I get him in my calves, and it's a big time. Like we're talking Charlie horse to the 9th level. If there were those pictures of the smiley faces that you get at the doctor's office on like Rate Your Pain, there's an episode of Scrubs where they're like, they give us a chart on rating a pain, and then like they hold it up and it's like all the different pictures from nothing being wrong and they're all happy up to like angry red and awful and like a lot of pain. Yeah. It's not, in the most amount of pain, of course, but it's, a good in the middle. It really is, at least mine. Not, a good solid 5 out of a 10. And that's been keeping me up. But the last thing that's been, yeah, well, I'll save that for later. Anyway, the very last thing that's been keeping me up is, of course, politics. Politics, good old politics, politics. Not so great. I got in a debate on, I keep saying Twitter and it's not Twitter, on X, over the fact that this person was genuinely justifying the fact that the Democrats made up the entire Russian collusion thing with Trump, just completely made it up, has been proven now to be so false, so fake, just like the Republicans said. And the fact that the news and social media outlets covered up the facts, didn't give us all of the information. Again, journalists, the news is supposed to give us just that, the news, not their opinion. No one gives a rat's butt about a newscaster's, news anchor. I don't know what the term is, but no one cares. We don't want to hear it. We want to hear you give us facts, and then we can use our logic. We can put together what you said and decide what is best for us and what we want to do. But again, journalists used to actually go out and be journalists. They went out and went into the field and gathered information from everybody, whether they agreed or disagreed, whether they liked that person or didn't like that person or group of people or whatever. They went out and they got everybody's opinion. They gathered information. And then they gave that information to us. They gave us facts. They didn't give us their opinion. They didn't give us biased opinions. Because not only did they give biased opinions of Trump, first of all, they shouldn't be biased. Secondly, they shouldn't be opinions. But they censored every single social media outlet or person that had facts or that had a different point of view. And that's not journalism. And that's also against our rights. So this person and I got into a debate. And they were like, well, I mean, the outcome is that Trump is president now. So clearly no one had a problem with the Russian collusion thing. I mean, it didn't affect his life because he's the president now. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It absolutely affected his life. You accused the man of basically being Putin's best friend and giving Putin pertinent information about America. And that's not okay. That's defamation of character. And that also very, very much formed people's opinion of Trump. And it very much hurt him because he didn't get reelected. And not to mention the fact that the media covered up the information. The media did not give us facts. The media censored. So people didn't get to make their own opinion. And to this day, people act like the Russian collusion thing is a fact. They add that to a list of things that Trump has supposedly done. So it very much affected him. And it also sets the precedence that it's okay to censor and that it's okay to give misinformation. It's okay to redirect. It's okay to cover up. It's okay to lie. It's okay to make up lies. Like, you're condoning the fact that Biden and Hillary and all these Democrats, all these politicians made up a story, a very big story, a huge story, and tried to cram that story down everybody's throats forever, made up a gigantic story that very much could have had him killed, it was a huge story. And then on top of that, people were censored, which is against our amendment rights. And then on top of that, there was anytime anyone tried to actually give facts, again, we were censored, but also the Democrats would just smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. Let's not look at the facts. Let's pull you over here. So they went out of their way to make up something, to make up a huge scandal. It was a scandal. They made up a bunch of lies, made it into a big scandal, then had the news and social media. So CNN and ABC and MSNBC and all of them decided to get together and spread complete fakeness and then censor anybody that was like, no, 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 And then on top of all of that, call everybody conspiracy theorists that didn't agree that he colluded with Russia. We're just conspiracy theorists. We don't know what we're talking about. Just a bunch of conspiracy theorists. What a bunch of crazy people. What a bunch of idiots. What a bunch of morons. Go bully them. Go attack them. Go censor them. Go try to take away their livelihood because they believe this nonsense. Every single bleeping thing that Republicans have been told were conspiracy theories, every one of them has turned out to be true. Every bleeping one. Masks, not good for you. 6 feet apart, closing down the economy, stupid, wasn't good. Vaccination wasn't good. The whole transgender thing and being on hormone blockers wasn't good. Men in sports and men allowed in locker rooms and stuff wasn't good. And now hormone blockers are causing dysphoria and causing psychosis. Psychosis. Out of touch with reality. It's causing you to be out of touch with reality. You already were out of touch with reality if you're mutilating your body. And your family is out of touch with reality if they're allowing you to do it as a minor. And all of those times we were told that we were homophobic and horrible and Nazis and we should be bullied and we should be censored and we should have our rights taken away and we should have our jobs taken away and we should have our shows canceled. It all turned out to be true. It does cause health issues. You are sterile. You could develop psychosis. It causes all kinds of stuff in your body, and yet we were told we were crazy. And there were a lot of trans men that identified as women that were in schools and public places that went into female lockers or bathrooms or swimming places or whatever that have raped, that have attacked, that have flashed themselves. So we weren't crazy. We weren't homophobic. And now I've got people defending the media covering up any kind of proof or facts or logic that had to do with Trump being innocent with the Russian collusion thing and it being made up. And we have the fact that politicians went out of their way to make a scandal, to create a scandal. We're just going to say that's okay. We're going to make excuses. And then, so they made up a whole bunch of really awful lies. And then Trump's entire family has had the FBI and CIA down every aspect of their orifice. What's barking? What's going on? I gotta see. Hang on. Okay, there's a dog barking. I just had to see what was going on. I thought it was like actually in the hallway, but at any rate, it's keeping me up because when you start condoning and making excuses for things like mutilating a minor's body, for things like men being in women's sports bathrooms, locker rooms, competing against women who have worked so hard, And when you are going to bat and making excuses for parents losing their rights to teachers and counselors, when now you're taking away parental rights and you're taking away amendment rights, you're going around talking about wanting to take away guns and you're wanting to censor people. And when you're going around making excuses as to why it's okay for a Black kid to murder in cold blood and admit that he did it, and then his parents blame the rain and the white people, and then a bunch of leftists also blame the white kid. They're not sad for the white kid. They're not sad for the parents. They're not sad for his friends. No, they're standing up for it. And then the kid gets let out on fucking bail that was a quarter of what it was supposed to be. And then they claim that they didn't use the GoFundMe money to do anything. Yeah, it's probably because it was laundered through something else, so it didn't look like it. Or they're probably just waiting for the dust to settle, and then they are going to use it, which is a bunch of bullshit because a kid lost his life needlessly. A white kid lost his life to a Black kid, and no one fucking cares. And people are actually making excuses as to why that is okay. There are white people, white farmers, being murdered for no fucking reason. They say this land is ours. So they're murdering a bunch of white farmers. No one cares. Everyone's like, oh, why is it okay for refugees, white refugees, to come from South Africa? Is it because they're white? It's because they're white and being told that they're going to be killed because they're white. They're being told, and they have been. It's been happening, not once, not twice, not 10 times. So suddenly, that's also, we're going to skirt over that. These things are keeping me up because they're incredibly disturbing things. And if you have that type of mentality, I just question you. You have no morals, I feel like. It's insanity. It's insanity when you can accuse Trump of doing so many things and it's impossible for you to. The man could go into a burning building and save kittens and puppies and babies. And the lefties would somehow find a flaw in that. Jesus could come down and be like, Trump, you're a great president. You're amazing. Here's all these facts and these good things about Trump. Everybody would be like, fuck you, Trump, still. You could see his record on what he has done for the Black community, what he has done in general in his lifetime. I'm not talking about just his presidency. I'm talking about in his lifetime. And if you compare that to Obama and Biden together, it's not as much as what Trump has done. And if you can listen to all of the things that people say about Biden and Obama and Hillary and the Clintons, it's not good because they have a long list of very, very, very shady, questionable behavior. But yet somehow Trump has been, like I said, completely investigated by every fucking branch of government, his entire family, forever. And they couldn't come up with anything other than a bunch of made up thing that they made into a bunch of counts of a felony because anytime there was a receipt for the same thing, wasn't different things. Oh, I can't even talk about it, but just the audacity of crazy lefts. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. I think it's like a suffering from psychosis. Didn't get a lot of attention as a kid. Maybe got too much attention, actually. That's probably the problem. Got too much attention. I don't know. God, that's a creaky door. Ooh, it's like Halloween. I'll know to do a podcast and use this for like Halloween. Oh, it's just frustrating. And it's keeping me up. And I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. And I'm really hoping this country gets its crap together because, man, it's not looking good. But then at the same time, I run into the nicest people every day. I genuinely am fortunate to run into nice people. I would say 90% of the time, on a day-to-day basis, going to work, going to the store, walking around my house, walking around my neighborhood, I usually run into nice people. I talk to a lot of good people. I see a lot of good things. And I like that. It gives me hope. It gives you something to cling to. You're like, oh my gosh. That those times when someone in front of you buys you a coffee and you pull up and you go to pay for the coffee and they're like, no, someone already got it for you. Those things you're like, fuck yeah, that just makes your day. And when those things happen, you're like, oh my God, yes, there are people out there that don't just suck ass. Thank the Lord for good people. Thank the Lord, the Lord. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord for people that don't suck, people that are kind, people that show humility, people that give grace, people that apologize, for people that are not entitled, people that work hard. It's nice. People that don't mooch. People say thank you and please and shake your hand and look you in the eye, open a door, So thank you if you're one of those. Thank you. Fuck yeah. Look at you go. Look at you just rocking out life like nothing, just making it look easy. I don't know. You've got skills. You've got life skills with a Z. Life skills. I'm going to make that. I'm just way too white for that. No, yeah. Anyway, hey, on a good note, do you guys ever have that one song? I mean, I love a million songs, but I really do have a favorite. And do you have a song that just when you hear it, you could be in a bad mood and it just immediately soothes the savage beast? You can go from just being oh, and you're just, and then you hear that song and you're just like, okay, all right. And it just brings you down. You just feel it. Well, mine is Van Morrison, Into the Mystic. That song, whenever I'm feeling all jazzed up, I can listen to that song and I just immediately am like, oh, yes, I feel it inside my soul. I feel it in every rib cage, in every layer of skin, in all my fat. I fucking love that song. Into the Mystic, Van Morrison. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It is my jam. It's what makes my heart content. And I was listening to it today because I was just like, I just need to be outside and breathe. I need to be outside and get with nature. And walk my dogs. I gave them a nice walk and I had to unwind after work and just listen to that song. And I loved it. It put me in a good mood. So I was like, maybe I should listen to it before I go to bed. But I can't listen to music because then I just want to hear it and it plays over and over in my head. And that was the other thing. Songs that get stuck in your head, even if you only know like one line. In fact, it's the ones that I usually only know like one line to. That one line will get stuck in my head like Chinese torture, like absolute. Oh, it just picks at my brain like an ice pick. And I sing it over and over. And there's that Ellen DeGeneres stand up when she's like, bye, Menon. Yeah, that'll get stuck in your brain. That's my brain. I'm sure that's your brain too, right? I hate that. So I can't listen to music because I'll either want to sing to it or it just keeps me, I just can't. I can't. I like it when it's good and stormy and like major wind outside and craziness. Then I can sleep. So I hope you get sleep. I hope you don't have insomnia. I hope you're listening to me when you're good and awake and you can absorb every morsel of what I'm saying. You just get every crumb of what I'm saying. Even if it's nonsense, just get it all. Absorb it into your noggin because, I'm just sharing viable information here. I'm sure it'll be on Jeopardy one day. I'm just kidding. I know I say nothing. That's why I appreciate even more that you're listening because I talk about frickin' nothing whatsoever. So I love those of you that are hanging on, hoping that one day maybe I'll say something. I don't know, you guys. I don't have guarantees that it'll get any better. This is what you got now, but it's me. It's what I'm thinking. So thank you. Thank you for roughing it out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to breathe. Remember to take it one at a time. Remember to control what you can. And until next time.